Let's review the limited edition Tom DeLonge signature Padre Stratocaster. So I've barely seen any videos on the Padre Strat. They were limited to a run of 300, so I don't know if it's because of that or if because a bunch of people just bought them to look at them and put them on a wall somewhere. But regardless, I wanted to do an actual review. Before we really get into it, I just want to say that the Padre is very different from the OG and reissue Strat models. It is not just a repainted version of them, it's actually quite different. I know they look very similar, but I own an OG Tom Strat model in addition to this Padre, and I promise you they are very different guitars. With that being said, let's get into some specs and let's go over how this model actually came to be. So Tom doesn't actually own the original Padre anymore. If any of you know Gear182 on Instagram, and I think they're on TikTok too, Stefan, who runs that account, is the current owner of the Padre. He was kind enough to send in the OG Padre when To The Stars and Fender were looking to do this run, and Fender was able to base this signature model off of the original Padre. I have very obviously not played the original Padre before, but according to him, it looks like they did a really good job of matching the look and feel, and obviously all the rest of the specs, to the original model. The Padre Strat neck was custom designed to mimic the look and feel of the actual Padre's neck. It has a 9.5-inch fingerboard radius with a modern C profile and a rosewood fretboard. I own other guitars that have necks with modern C profiles, and I gotta say, this doesn't feel like one. It feels a little bit closer to a V shape combined with a C shape. Regardless, still comfortable, just doesn't really feel like a modern C. What's funny is that this neck has the same exact specs as the other Tom Strat models, but still feels completely different. I don't know how or why that is, but I gotta say, the Padre's neck is more comfortable than the OG model to me. It's not that the OG model is uncomfortable to play, it's just that this feels so nice and almost feels like a custom shop neck that, I don't know, it's got mojo, I guess. I really don't know what else to say about it. Another difference is that the headstock is a little different. It's based off of a 69 Strat headstock, I believe. I think it's a little bit more oversized. Doesn't really make a difference for much other than it looks cool. So that's what matters. Also, on the back of the OG and the reissue Strats, there's like this walnut stripe that goes down the back of the neck, and this one does not have that. The To The Stars website also says that the Padre features a custom designed body, but I can't find any specifications on what that means. I do have to say, it does feel very different from the OG Strat. I think it feels a little bit thinner and a little bit smaller. It's nothing crazy, but again, more comfortable to play. But I don't have any actual specs, so you're just gonna have to kind of trust me on this. Other than the neck, the biggest difference between the Padre and the OG Tom Strat is the pickup. The Padre comes equipped with a Seymour Duncan JB humbucker instead of the Duncan Invader that Tom used on the OG and reissue Strats. Well, he didn't actually use the reissue Strats, but you know what I mean. Now to go over some of the little things, this guitar actually comes with Fender locking tuners, and when I first got the guitar and changed the strings, I was very proud of myself because I somehow managed to get all the tuning pegs going the same direction. I would not be able to do that again if I tried, but it was really nice. And it was a big achievement in my guitar playing journey. The Padre also comes with a sick, custom, bright orange hardshell case with a tiger stripe interior that is a replica of the actual flight case that Tom had for his Padre. Included in the case are some Fender goodies. You can't see it here, but it came with strap locks, came with the little quality control sticker thing, and most importantly, it comes with a certificate of authenticity signed by Tom himself, and it says the Padre's number on it. Now for my thoughts on the guitar. In short, I love this thing. I've had it for about 4 or 5 months now. I've played it a ton. I've used it in pretty much all of my TikToks up until this point. I've used it in band practices. I've gigged with it. It's a workhorse in addition to being a beautiful signature model. I am not one of those people who buys a signature model so it can look pretty sitting on a rack or on a wall. I want to play my guitars. I want to use them, I want to beat the crap out of them, and I want them to be with me for forever. Even though I own this and the OG Tom Strat, I have to say I am not a very big Strat person. I'm not usually the biggest fan of the bodies. I usually play Les Pauls. I'm more of a fan of single cuts, but this just doesn't feel like a regular Strat body, and I think that's why I like it so much. Like I said before, it's a little bit thinner, which makes it a little bit lighter, which makes it that little bit more comfortable for things like long band practices or long gigs. Listen, I got a bad shoulder and a bad back. I love my Les Pauls, but God, they get heavy. Out of the box, I only had two small issues. It came set up perfectly, which was amazing, but it came with, I'm assuming, Ernie ball strings, and I am just not an Ernie ball string fan. I've tried them a bunch, don't really like them, so I just needed to get some elixirs, slap them on there, and it was fine. The other small issue was that the fretboard was super dry, but it's a rosewood fretboard. Those need to be oiled anyway. Again, some lemon oil took care of it in about 5 minutes when I changed the strings. I gotta say, the only thing I am not the biggest fan of is the pickup. I've played it for months now, and at first I thought it was just me kind of getting used to it. I still am, but I don't know. I'm not a fan of the JB. I actually feel like the Invader is a little more clear than the JB. I don't know if that's just the amps I'm using, but I always feel like there's this little rumble that I can't quite get out. Playing live, it's not an issue, but I don't really see this becoming a big studio guitar for me if I can't figure out how to get rid of that. I know for a lot of people, the biggest issue with this was the price point. It did clock in a little over $1,800, but with all of the specs and the way that it was designed, I'm looking at it as I kind of got a custom shop-ish Fender Strat for less than $2,000. And I know people will say, oh, you could have gotten, an American-made Fender for about the same price and it could do more. Again, not a big Strat person, not a big multiple pickup person, honestly. I prefer single pickups. I barely ever use a neck pickup. So this is what I wanted. This is what I got. I'm also not one of those people that bought every single Black Friday model that To The Stars released. The black one was cool, but it didn't have the stripes, so it didn't look close enough to the Boxcar Racer Strat for me. The white one, I'm not a big fan of white guitars. The one I said I would get if it ever went on sale was the Padre, and then the stars aligned and I was actually able to pick it up. I also feel that, custom-ish type guitar plus hard shell case would equal, in my mind, about $1,500. Tack on an extra 100 or so for the name, and then tack on the inflation, so I can see how it ended up being $1,800. I'm not defending it, and I wish it was cheaper, but I can see how they priced it, so I wasn't too angry about it. And that's pretty much it for this. I really like this guitar. It's really comfortable, and it's definitely become one of my mains since I've gotten it. Be sure to like this video if you liked it, and subscribe if you want more guitar content, and let me know, did you buy the Padre? Would you have spent $1,800 on this? If you did buy it, please tell me you're playing it. I hate when people buy guitars just to put them up on a shelf. Not a shelf, but a rack. You know what I mean.